And as always, speaking of which, as I finished recording One Piece, we have this week's chapter of Boku no Hero Academia 125 of its name, Overhaul, which I believe it's the name of this hero. In a world without a symbol, evil prospers. The League of Villains makes contact with a new power. Alright. Looks pretty run down. Okay, so this is a flashback. Is this really a base? No way I'm taking you to the headquarters right off the bat. This is more like an interview site. Pardon me, it's rather rusty here. I think I might get sick. No worries. The folks inside are especially sick. A good one. The League of Villains. What a joke. What? Is he supposed to be famous or something? Sensei's shown me a picture of him before. The so-called Yakuza, the young leader of the 8 precepts of death. Okay? Yakuza, oh my, I've never seen one before, you smell so dangerous. He's kind of different from the rest of us, don't you think? Let this old man teach you, my darling, my dear young Toga. Back in the day, there were a number of frightening organizations that ran the underworld. However, with the prospering of heroes came the systematic dismantling of those groups. The times came to an end with the rise of All Might. Those who were not caught and locked away were basically treated like criminals under constant surveillance and living at the bottom of the barrel. Put plainly, is an endangered species left over from the old times. Okay, is he that old? He looks young. Well, I can't say you're wrong. And so what business does Mr. Bottom of the Barrel Yakuza man have with us? Are you another one of those types who are on a high after All Might's retirement? No more so than All Might. The fall of All for One was significant. The Emperor of Darkness, he who controls all the underworld, my generation regarded him as like an urban legend. Nonetheless, the elders believed in him and feared him accordingly, but now we've heard rumors of his demise. About how this time he revealed himself in his true form and how he was thrown into Tartarus. In other words, there is no longer anyone who rules over the day or the night. That's correct. All Might rule the day as the supreme number one hero, and All for One ruled in the night as the supreme villain. And so the question is, who will be the next to rule? If you're saying you know who our sensei is and yet you're asking that question, are you trying to stir up something? The next will be me. Well, that's debatable. As of now, we are gathering more and more strength and continue to expand. And with our combined powers, we will bring down this hero society without fail. Do you have a plan? A plan? Didn't you come here to become allies with us? An objective without a plan is nothing but mere delusion. That is correct. Being presented with delusion only troubles me. What will you do when you gather your strength? How will you pull the strings? What kind of organization do you plan to build? If this guy doesn't seize control, at least to keep things organized, I will be surprised. Stain the hero killer, Muscular the hedonistic murderer, Moonfish the escaped death row convict, each of them a first-class pawn, but all gone to waste so quickly. You do not know how to use them. He makes very fair points. You know not how to make use of these enraged individuals, and yet you speak of expanding your power. What do you plan on doing with this power you cannot control? To accomplish an objective, a plan is necessary, and I have a plan. I didn't come here today to be asked to join your group. Twice. The next time you bring someone, make sure you have your head straight first. To carry out my plan, a vast amount of financial capital is needed. A relic of the past Yakuza such as myself is not going to have an easy time finding investors. But if I have a lot of you overhyped villains on my side, Overhyped villains. It's a bit of a different story. Come under my wing, let me show you how you should be used, and then I will become the next ruler. Called it. He was going to seize control. He's the man with a plan. Go back. I'm so sorry, Mr. Yakuza, we're not gathered here to be under anybody. Well, you kinda are. Like, if Shigaraki is your leader, well, technically you are under him, so yeah. Not too long ago, I met with one of my friends. As timid and shy of a person she is, in spite of my background, she accepts me as a friend. She said to me, those who are chained by common knowledge will laugh at those who aren't. Ken, you were able to jump out from that, but I don't have the courage to jump. It's because I want to live a life without shackles that I am here. Where we belong is for us to decide. Also correct, but you have been touched by him and apparently his quirk is touch-based. Holy crap! Oh, sorry about that. Oh, Jesus! Oh my god! Oh, oh my god! Well, that sure got their attention, all right. Holy moly! Overhaul! You guys threw the first punch, and like that, Magn is dead. Ugh, so filthy, that's why I hate this so much. Wait, compress. This guy is trouble. I'll use my compress to lock him up. My quirk, I can't activate it. Don't touch me. Ooh, compress just lost an arm. God damn it. Okay, Shigaraki is now trying to attack. Ooh. What is this pile of... Oh, so one of his comrades was killed. That was a close one overall. I see now. Things would have been clearer if he just did that from the start. So I believe these are the other presets of death. Wait a second, where did... I was sure we weren't being followed. Most of them are probably from somebody's quirk. You were slow, I missed the shot, but the fast acting effect was still enough, wasn't it? I was hoping to take care of masters in a peaceful manner. On nights like this, you won't be able to make a level-headed judgment. It's quite unproductive for us to expend any more of each other's fighting power. We've got a casualty on each side. Let's stop here for now. We can talk again when you've cooled your heads. You're down an arm, though. Sorry about that. I'll kill you, you bastard. Let me take responsibility. Wise move, Handman. It doesn't have to be right away, but the sooner the better. Please take the time to think long and hard about your organization and whatnot. Once you've calmed yourself, call me. He even has a calling card. Oh, so badass. A villain with a calling card. A deepening contest for power. Ooh! Come in, you two. We have a lot. We got a few things to talk about, don't we? Midoriya and Mirio. Oh, God. This is gonna be fun. All Might is just like, and a little cloud just floating from the teacup. My goodness, what is this? This was good. This is good. I like it. I don't know if you guys can tell by my reaction, but I really enjoyed this chapter. Holy moly. Sorry about the kind of, I don't know if it's considered a swear word, but I don't know. Sorry about it anyway. So, my goodness. Overhaul as an overpowered quirk. Like, I really like the whenever there are touch-based powers in any sort of manga, like in One Piece, you have certain devil fruits that are activated through physical contact, and in here apparently you have, but it's mainly for the villains. The villains have a lot of touch-based combat. Overhaul has a touch-based combat. Compress as a overhaul as a touch-based quirk. So I really enjoyed them because normally those are the most destructible of quirks, and we can see by Overhaul's quirk. It's just, and is it that why he uses the mask? Because even his breath can blow things up. Imagine that everything that comes out of his body is just pure a pure explosion ready to happen and to disintegrate anything that it touches. That's why he uses the gloves, that's why he uses the mask. That is cool. And apparently he's older than he looks. So that was interesting. The recent chapters of Boku no Hero Academy have been having a lot of text, but that is not bad in the slightest. I really enjoy it because it's information. And information is very good in these cases. We are learning a lot, not only about certain heroes, but certain events and certain organizations. Who knew that before the rise of All Might, there were so many villain organizations, and now they are reduced to a speck, a dust in the wind. So that is very good. And the League of Villains, possibly under the command of Overhaul, is possibly going to try and make a comeback. I never saw this one coming. I was always expecting, to have a sort of a calm period. The League of Villains would rise up, but so would the heroes. And then, after a while, Shigaraki and Midoriya would face off again, this time to a much more flamboyant and spectacular, let's call it like that, fight. But apparently it ain't the case. The League of Villains have an internal conflict of their own. So it may take a longer while before we see the League of Villains reformed, but when we do, either under Shigaraki's rule or Overhaul's rule, things will be different. I don't think that either will submit to the other. I mean, Overhaul will never submit to Shigaraki because Overhaul is far more powerful than Shigaraki, I guess. I mean, Shigaraki was able to wither one of Overhaul's companions. So if Overhaul was touched by that, I believe he would not. I mean, it depends on whose quirk activates first, I guess. Because if Overhaul's quirk is instantaneous, like you touch, you lose, then probably Shigaraki would have the most damage. Because if Shigaraki has to touch and then think activate, sort of, then by the time he would start touching Overhaul, his harm would already be blown off. But if it just goes there untouched, they could mutually null each other, and then both of them would suffer the effects of one another's quirks. Shigaraki would explode, and Overhaul would wither away. That's why they chose to sacrifice the pawn, who will never be named. R.I.P. nameless villain who got murdered by Shigaraki. Even Magnan had an introduction, but no, that guy just food for cannon. So, yeah, that is it. I really enjoyed this chapter. Overall, quirk is overpowered as hell, and I really hope we get to see him more frequently because I like the guy's aesthetic. I like his quirk. So, making the villain boss, that will be very much appreciated. It's one another of those quirks that you can't possibly get how to defeat him because he can't be touched. It's like Mirio all over again. He cannot be touched. Can't touch this. And with that musical and possibly a strike on this video for my Hoffle singing, I say my goodbyes to you. This is it for this week. Next week we'll have a fresh batch of chapters for us to read and react to, and many more things to see. I'll see you guys next week, and have a nice weekend.